So today I want to make something that I've seen on Pinterest for a while now, and I have finally mustered up the courage to finish this project. Today I'm going to finish one of the works in progress that I've had for almost a year now. We're going to finish it, it's going to be awesome, and I can't wait to share the process. I was scrolling on Pinterest and I came across the Agnes sweater vest pattern. It is from Bethany Lynne, and I just immediately fell in love. I loved the color combination that she used, so I really wanted to try this out. I'll leave the link below for the pattern that you can check out. It's a free pattern just on her website. You can go check it out and see the pattern for yourself, and so maybe you can even follow along with this video. So what you'll be making for the pattern are these little granny squares. So this is one that I've already made, and it is 4 different colors combined into all of the granny squares. In all of these interior colors, I'm going to interchange and make different color combinations. Putting them together in the final result will make a very nice sweater vest with all these different little patchworks. So the yarn that I'm using is a touch of linen. This is from the Lion brand, and it is 51% cotton and 49% linen. I bought way too much. I'll just have to figure out something else to do with this yarn in the future. Maybe like a striped dress, maybe? Now the gears are turning, and I'm gonna go down the rabbit hole again. Okay, the 4 colors that I'm going to use for my sweater vest, very nice, almost like eggplant purple color, and this is in the color Fog. I have this yellow color, and it is so accurately named Dijon. I have this taupe color, this is in the color Stone. I have this very light cream color for all of the borders in the ribbing, and this is in the color Natural. The crochet hook that I'm using is the F/5, and this is a 3.75mm crochet hook, and also a 3.5mm circular needle. I don't know if this is in the pattern, but I also add in a little bit of this elastic thread. You just repeat this granny square pattern until you have 25 granny squares measuring 4 by 4 inches. Yours may differ a little bit, and you can check out her website and her original pattern to see any size variations that you can make, but this is how mine turned out. So I'm going to show you how to crochet this granny square. So starting the granny square off with a magic loop, pulling through the yarn, and then I'm going to make a chain stitch of 3. So once you've done your chain 3, the round goes as follows. You have 2 double crochet, then you repeat a chain 1, 3 double crochet, until you have 4 clusters of 3 double crochet, including the first chain 3 into the first cluster. I hope that makes sense. So once I have those 12 double crochets in the first round, I will join them and then cut the yarn and leave a tail about 4 inches long. Next thing I'm going to do is get my new color, so I change colors into this yellow. You're going to connect your yarn into one of the double crochet spaces of the previous round and do a chain 3. After that, you do 2 more double crochets into the same space, 1 chain stitch, 3 more double crochet. And now you have created a corner. Next up, you're going to do 1 more chain stitch, skip 3 double crochets from the first round, and then start the process of making another corner into the next space. So 3 double crochet, 1 chain stitch, 3 double crochet, chain 1. Then you're going to skip 3 more from the previous round and do the same thing 2 more times. You're going to create a little square with 2 clusters in each of the spaces of the previous round. I really hope that makes sense. Once you get the process of this pattern, it turns to be very easy, just making your clusters of 3 and making 2 clusters in the corner spaces. And you're just going to keep going around and around. And on the flat sides where you don't have a corner, you're just going to do a cluster of 3 into one of the spaces, chain 1, and go to the next corner. That will also repeat itself for the next round, where after you create your corner, you will do a cluster of 3 in between the 2 spaces separating the corners. Once you're all done, you just snip the yarn and then you have a granny square. Some people will weave in all of their ends right now, but I like a little bit of chaos and I didn't want to do it right now, so the next thing I moved on to was blocking. So to make this process a little bit easier for me, I used my yoga mat that I use for all of my blocking. I decided to take a Sharpie marker and draw out 4x4 grid onto my yoga mat. I used my yarn soap that I bought from Knit Picks and just gently washed all of the granny squares, relaxing the fiber in the stitches so that everything can stretch out and lay flat. Gently wringing out and patting down with a towel all of the excess water so that I can pin it down onto my yoga mat. Just using some sewing pins to stretch out and fill in the grid that I have created with the Sharpie. In the morning I was able to unpin them all and have them nice and dry and ready, so I sorted them all out into their different colors so that I could make my grid and plan out where I wanted each color to be. So now everything is blocked, and now I'm going to lay them out one more time, and then I'm ready to put all of the pieces together. So let's do that. So let's start at the back. Let's start at the bottom up. So D, A, D, and E. I started off with using my crochet hook to bind all of the squares together. I wasn't a big fan of how it was turning out. I then took it all out and used my yarn needle and just did a whip stitch for all of the squares together. It just made all of the squares lay a lot flatter and not have these big ridges with the crochet chain. So I actually did end up working on this a lot at work. I just brought all of my squares and slowly sewed up each one during each of my breaks. And I got a lot of it done at work, so luckily I was able to finish this a lot quicker than I thought I would. I have now fully remade all of the cushions for this chair. This is now a new project that I'm working on at the same time as this one. But I have now finished the cushion parts of this, and now I can make the pattern for all the seat covers. So stay tuned for that one, because that one will be very exciting. It is so hot here today, I cannot breathe. Just 76 degrees right now outside, and it feels like 88. You guys. I sewed it all together, so now it is one full vest. A little sweater vest. I thought it was going to be a bit bigger, be like a nice oversized vest, but right now it's feeling a little snug, but maybe I can work with that and stretch it out. So the next thing I have to do is add in the ribbing around the neck and the arms. Those will be done in the round, whereas the waist will be done fronts and backs, so that they will be separate. So I'm going to do all of the ribbing with the lighter color. This is just the color Natural. This is the color that I use around all of the borders of the granny squares. Right now it is very busy, but I think with this natural color that it will look a little bit more balanced. I picked up my stitches and started with a knit one, purl one all around the edges of the armholes, and did this for about 1.5 inches before I did an Italian bind off method, which is my favorite just because of how nicely it turns out. I tried doing the same thing. The neck hole just looked really flimsy. I wanted to have more structure, so I did a double folded rib. I then took my elastic thread and my yarn needle and then just wove it through the neck edge so that it didn't stretch out. Now that I have the ribbing done around the armholes and the collar, I'm going to work on the hem. The way that it's done in the pattern is to do a split hem. So I'm just going to go in with my circular needles and do a knit one, purl one rib for about 2 inches, and then I can cast off using the Italian bind off method and then do the same for the back. That just leaves a little split along the sides, and I think that's what I'm going to do for this one. So now that I've threaded the elastic through the neck hole, I'm going to block it one last time. I'm going to set the ribbed edges so that they look very nice, and hopefully I can stretch it out to be a little bit more oversized. As much as I follow the pattern, I think it turned out a little bit smaller than what I wanted, so I'm going to try my best. I'm going to block it the same way I did before, just with a little bit of warm water, some soap, letting it soak for a little bit, wringing it out, and then laying it flat and stretching out everything to lay nice and flat. So once it was all dry, it was done. So let's see how it turned out. It's done. I love it so much. So as for styling the vest, I have on this puffy sleeve underneath. Along with that, I have my purple pants. These ones I got from the thrift store. I paired with it this brown belt that I also got from the thrift store. And then as for shoes, I'm just pairing it with my Converse. These things are old and ratty and I love them and they fit my feet perfectly. The last thing I want to pair is one of my newest thrifted items. I've been looking for a long time for a leather bag to use as a camera bag. I found the cutest little satchel. I don't identify as a Disney adult. I grew up with Disney all around me and visiting Disney World quite a few times. So finding this little Disney satchel at the thrift store, it holds my camera perfectly. Like obviously I'm filming on my camera right now, but like this is like the perfect camera bag. I have in here a little pocket that I can put batteries and lens caps. I bought quite a few skeins of yarn to make this vest, when in actuality I don't think I had to, so I'll have to use that yarn in the future for some other project. If you're interested in trying out this for yourself, please go check out the original pattern from Bethany Lynne. I love it so much, especially I was inspired to do like the same type of colors as she did with like these yellows and purples and grays and whites, and I think that it just turned out beautifully. I think that adding some visual interest into an outfit is just something that really completes a look. I hope you enjoyed me making this vest. I really love how it turned out. Go check out Bethany Lynne's blog about all the instructions on how you can make your own. Check out her Instagram, you can check out mine, you can subscribe to me as well if you want. I post a lot of videos about me making different stuff, and I believe in the next video I will be trying my hand at upholstery. So wish me luck on that one. So stay tuned until that video. I'll see you next time. Have a wonderful day. Bye.